I revived the Ottoman Empire and unified Islam by abusing the new treaty system. So make sure to subscribe if you want to learn how and to prevent unfortunate accidents. Now, boys, to give a bit of an idea of what's happening in 1880 for the Ottoman Empire, we have complete control over most of the Middle East. We've got the Egyptians as a puppet. We got the Persians as a puppet. We have a lot of subjects for that matter all around the world, even in South America. We're very low on infamy, which means we're going to start expanding again. My eyes are now set on the Ethiopian parts as well as the West African. Whatever is left in West Africa that is not already conquered by the colonial nations will go to us. My eyes are set on Sokoto, which would be one of the biggest markets for us to have under our control. That's 8 million population with 5 million GDP. So we're going to slowly conquer all the way around this area. Prestige-wise, we are the world's second great power right now. That's a combination of both of having a lot of GDP as well as GDP of our subjects, and of course the army and the navy, which are semi-decently sized. By GDP, we're also second in the world, and by population within the 10 nations. Standard of living, as you would expect, we're not doing amazing. We are the Ottomans after all, but we'll improve on that in this particular part of the campaign. We're allied to the British, and we're going to try and maintain that alliance. Same with the French. We're going to try and maintain that alliance for now. We also want to push into the Stani areas and grab as many of the stands before the British and the Russians get their hands on them. The idea is that we're primarily going to be directly owning lands that are our culture groups, so that means we're going to be integrating some of these subjects, but the rest of the world outside of our culture group, like in Africa, in South America and such, we're just going to keep as puppets in the campaign, and we're going to see if we can maybe barter for Oman from the British by giving them something else they might be interested, which means that we probably would be advised to use the colonial exploitation that we have and trade some of these colonies for something that the British might like to give us, right? Maybe if we can trade Herero or something of the sorts for Oman, that would be big brain. We're going to take advantage of our genial relations with the British in essence. We do have right now 3 million peasants, so we need to improve on our GDP. We have the population to expand basically, and because we also have racial segregation, we have a decent amount of people that would like to move into our lands, but we're going to be able to switch over to cultural exclusion after we pass the current freedom of conscience. Fairly easy. We have a lot of endorsement for the 73% endorsement. Every one of our parties wants us to pass cultural exclusion, and that is when all the people from the Muslim world are going to start migrating to our land. So we're going to be able to quickly ramp up in population and use that to super industrialize the nation. We do have 2 companies right now, and they're not super productive, unfortunately. We're going to have to work on this a little bit. We have given some monopolies, we've given a few industrial rights, but they're getting their asses handed to them by the much larger and more profitable companies of the Western world. We're not even in the top 10 companies here. It is just really bad from that perspective. I think we're like 15th or something. By comparison, the East India Company has 350,000 in profit. Holy schnitzel, man. Okay, we have an interesting situation here. We could actually join on the side of Kunduz, and in exchange, we could make Kabul a protectorate. I don't mind doing that because if we do it this particular way, then we don't need to worry about the British or the Russians joining on either side of that. So then we basically just have a free Kabulian subject as consequence now. But what we can also do is we can get military access from getting a treaty with Kandahar, and that way we can invade Kabul through Kandahar. We don't need to worry about getting our troops to fight in this particular front. Again, something that comes with this particular patch and is really good. So we're going to be invading through Quetta, quickly grabbing in the Kabulians. I think Kabul does have some claims around, so we probably could use them to return provinces afterwards, so we can just give all of the Afghanistanian areas to Kabul and use that. So basically we have 1 subject instead of 1,000 subject in this area. We've got 2 setbacks on this law. I'm 100% sure I'm not going to pass this. I'm going to not even bother wasting my time with it anymore. Instead, I'm going to try and go for slobbery banning. We can also maybe try and get someone to support us with that legislation, so we could ask, say, the British to help us with slavery banning. They actually would be willing to already by default with 67% chance. So maybe we can just try it like that. Let's go. Oh, there you go, baby. We managed to get that. So that gives us a 15% law commitment, meaning 15% success chance extra. It was 25, but they patched it since, so it's a little bit less now, unfortunately. But still, better than nothing. 15% better than 0%, right? Our main shortages right now are kind of unsurprisingly coal, iron, and fish. Fish is definitely the surprising one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch over and get dynamite production methods for the coal and the iron mines. That should fix my issue issues, but it means we now have massive shortages of explosives, so we're gonna have to spam some explosives manufactories. Apparently Trebizond would be the best spot for that, so let's go ahead and alt click 5 of these in Trebizond for now. We also can temporarily give high subventions on import for explosives so that we maybe can buy some from the world market. There you go, our trade centers already are hard at work buying off whatever is left of explosives in the world market. And we also have now gotten an extra province for no infamy. Oh my god, that's huge. So hear me out, right? Kabul won the war against whatever this nation was called before, I actually forgot, and as such they got pieced out. But we are not pieced out because our war goal is to make them our subject. So basically what's happening now is we're gonna make them a subject, and they're not gonna have just 3 provinces, they're gonna have 4 provinces with Turkestan as well, seeing as they just took that and we're not paying any extra infamy for it. So holy schnitzel, that's actually played out really freaking well for us right now. Let's see what's happening here as well. Annex Spain, radicals, blah 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 blah. Okay, so Tuscany's on their side and Brazil and Sweden on their side. What obligations? I don't want that. I would like a transfer state if you want, though. Not even close to that. Well, that's kind of sucks. Yeah, I'm not gonna help you out then. Do whatever you want, not my problem. We also could probably expand our construction sectors too now, so let's go ahead and get a few more in Konya. We do have a bit of population in Konya, so it should be fine. And we're gonna give military access to Kabul, as well as we're gonna give them an embassy just so we keep on improving relations a little bit quicker with them. We want our subject to be loyal now, don't we? Oh, that's so cute. Kandahar wants to attack Kabul wants to attack Kandahar and they want us to join in. Sure, I don't mind that. You do that because that's your infamy, not mine. You're basically expanding for me. I love it. That means we got expansions both in the west and in the east right now. Oh, come on. Really, Kandahar? You back down out of that? That's horrible. That means Kandahar is now separated in 2 different sides, and it's just so frustrating to see that. But on the bright side, Kabul is now right next to us, so they don't need to be isolated anymore. I actually gave them their own market because they were isolated, right? But now we can revoke this in 1 year roughly. Hey, we also cracked 100 mil. That's awesome. Guys, we do have a bit of a unique situation here. So the English are attacking the Japanese and the Russians join on the side of the Japanese. Now we have 2 options. We can either enforce war goals on the English and join the Japanese side, or we can do the opposite. Join the English and then we can enforce stuff on the Russians. I'm not saying I'm gonna do this just to fuck with the Russians, but I'm gonna ask for the liberation of Ukraine. If we win this, guys, it's going to be insane because Ukraine is like half of the industrial heartland of Russia. So we would make our main rival Russia insanely weak as consequence. Make sure we upgrade all of our units to skirmishers because we're gonna need better units than the Russians for this war. Bro, are you shitting me right now? I was getting so freaking pumped up and ready for that war, and the Japanese just backed. You actual scum. You actual freaking scum. The good part about the Ottomans is that we do have quite a few sources of coal, and as we progress in the campaign, coal is going to be one of the biggest limiting factors, which we don't have much of a factor because we have a lot of it now, right? Because we do have a lot of fish shortages. I am just going to spam the shit out of fishing wharfs or whatever they're called. Every Ottoman citizen and their mama is going to be producing fish. I'm going to also get my power block statues in the main states such as Istanbul, Hudavendigar, Konya, Ankara, Aydin, all of the Anatolian bits basically, because these are going to allow me to get 25% less authority for each decree, which means I'm gonna save up about 150 authority, which is really huge in my opinion. But they do take a little bit of extra time to construct. 81 freaking weeks is massive. 2,500 construction, so this is a little bit of a problem for us right now. I'm also trying to get Oman from the British. I'm gonna give them the little state that I have in Niger, as well as no subventions, no tariffs. I might even give them a few goods perhaps transferred, such as porcelain. I guess they want some. I don't even know if I have any porcelain, but I'm gonna try that. What else can we give them? Some engines? Okay, that's actually might be a bit of an issue, but I'll take it. I'll take it. Give me Oman. There you go. That is huge. We also got Walla text for the 9 millionth time. What's up with these achievements, man? Why don't they get locked in or whatever the shit? Because this is actually annoying. I keep getting the same achievement again and again. It just makes no sense to me. I don't know what's up with this game sometimes. Oh, actually, I want to give you guys a bit of a shout out because I didn't know why whenever whenever I save games, I have different flags, right? And somebody in the comment section said that it's because you have too many saves from previous patches. And that's true. I had a buttload of saves from like 1.8 to 1.7 even. So I deleted that and now it's actually okay. So thank you for that. I forgot who it was in the comment section, but thank you very much. I appreciate that. We're also going to try and transfer the rest of the stuff the English have here in future deals with them. For now, just getting back Oman is absolutely massive. Let's go ahead and incorporate this bad boy. We also can get some investment rights in Japan, and we give for our company the monopoly on tooling workshops. So the Japanese industry is going to 100% depend on our company's tooling workshops to survive, right? That's just beautiful. That's actually a really good deal in my opinion. So we're going to improve relations with the Japanese, and we have obligations with them too. So we could maybe do a secondary treaty and use the obligations to get something from them too. Oh, actually, they'd love to have an alliance with me. You know what? I might do that actually. If you let my other company get a monopoly on your furniture manufacturers, and we're gonna use the obligation to, and they're gonna accept it. Baby, let's go. Our first proper ally. Historical good alliance of the British and the what the hell is going on here? Why does England directly own almost the entirety of this peninsula? That is crazy to see, brother. This explains why the English are doing so good GDP wise. They're just taking everything from other nations and they're going like, yo, my GDP is up. How did it go up, England? Oh, I just conquered half the freaking planet. Oh, that makes sense right there. Do hope they nerf a little bit the British later in the campaign. I mean, in the future patches, because it's just it's a bit too much in my opinion. It's way too much. I mean, I'm getting 17 infamy to take this, right? How much infamy does England have? Let's see. They got 48 infamy. Holy shit, they're aggressive as crap, aren't they? I feel like they should have more, considering they took, what is this area, like 60 million population? I don't even know. Yeah, they got 66 million. So they probably got like 20 million population from here alone. Let me also check what my technology is looking like. We are slightly behind what we can maximum have. So we're gonna spam a few universities. We really need to catch up with tech. Tech is like my biggest bane in this campaign, but it is to be expected as the Ottomans that you're gonna be falling behind other nations when it comes to technology. The British are fighting the little rebellion in the eastern parts, and the Russians join on the side of the rebellion, which means that now we can attack Montenegro, which was getting support from the Russians because the Russians already are at war with us. They cannot help Montenegro, so this is the easiest way for us to get rid of this little Schnitzeldorf. Now we do need about 6 peanuts in order to destroy this nation. Now we do need to make a new army in order to destroy this nation, so I'd say 10 skirmishers is probably a bit of an overkill, really. I don't think we even need that many to destroy it, but we'll just send that out. Also not pushing into Russia because they called me in as an ally. That means that I don't have any war goals. If I had war goals, I would have actually played my part, but this way I'm just going to defend and let the English do all the heavy lifting. Next time, England, give me some actual decent stuff, will ya? Oh, there you go. We got all of Karadag now, or most of it, because I think a bit of this is actually part of Austria, isn't it? We officially just got a free Vietnam. They backed down against us, so now they are officially our protectorate, and they also lost Cambodia because the British, those aggressive skibbities, have taken it. They just flat out conquered. They didn't even bother to puppet it or nothing. Look at that, 74 infamy. They just do not give a schnitzel, do they? They really need to tone down the AI for freaking Britain. I'm getting scared here, man. We also seem to have insane shortages of wood now, so I'm gonna double down on wood production. Gonna spam a few of these logging camps around my country, just basically max out wherever we have the population, like Selanik, like Thessaly as well. We can maybe outclick a few in Thessaly since we really need it right now. We have a lot of population available around the Balkans and a lot of unemployed people because I haven't really been building much around the Balkans, so I think I can focus on developing the Balkans now, which would be very, very smart actually. We have a bit of shortage of transport here too, which means we're gonna need more motor industries now too, and I don't mind actually building these in Egypt since we have, again, a ton of population in Egypt. Egypt is also super loyal, so whenever we're ready for it, we could just flat out annex Egypt for 33 infamy, and then we basically double in size of actually directly owned land of pops that are basically accepted more or less, or have high degrees of acceptance. And in case you're wondering, the reason I attacked the Vietnamese is because if I didn't attack them, they probably would end up as Siam here, a protectorate of the British, or just directly owned land like Cambodia is, right? So we want to make sure we secure some of the Southeast Asian parts for ourselves, because they do have some really good resources that we're going to use as we progress in the campaign. And honestly, in this particular patch, we're basically just forced to expand as much as possible because of the British Empire. You might have been wondering why I also haven't attacked the Ethiopians left. This is exactly why. I'm waiting until the Ethiopians unify into one major blob, and then we can just have one subject ruling all of Ethiopia rather than 1,000 smaller subjects all around, which is going to be more difficult to keep in check, right? We do have Wello as a puppet because I think they were a puppet of the Egyptians from before, but that's the only exception. Hey, we also have a new mandate. That's awesome. I did make one mistake earlier in the first part of the campaign. I went for advanced research as my first principle. I did that because in my defense, I genuinely thought that I would pass some type of schooling system super fast, right? But unfortunately for us, I was not very lucky with my legislation. But now if we do pass the slavery banning, then we should be able to go for some type of school system. We would need to go away from a state religion if we were to go for public schools, which is the most ideal one. But as an alternative, I guess religious schools would be okay-ish, better than nothing. Whatever the case, I'm thinking about changing this principle with something that I can make more use of right now, like the new companies that are honestly pretty powerful, or the colonial offices, which will allow me to expand a lot faster. So we can do colonial offices, max this bad boy out, and then we can change it to something else after we finished the colonization part of the campaign, which is this part, of course. There's still a buttload of areas to colonize, especially in South and Central Africa, so we need to try and double down on that colonization game before the British get everything. We got good news, boys. We got really good news. The nation of Ethiopia is around, so that's one big nation we can just attack right now and make into our subject. And there's also Tigray around. Maybe we can use return claim on Tigray after we get Ethiopia as a subject, probably, right? Let's also check our GDP situation. We're really falling behind the English. I mean, we're growing pretty significantly, right? Like, really significantly. But the problem is the English are just ridiculously overpowered, man. I think what I need to do to catch up with the English is use my companies a little bit better. So maybe I can cancel the logging camps charter for Ludi special furniture. And in exchange, I can give investment rights for the Bosnian metalworks as well. That should really double down because they have their own money that they can use to build their own buildings, right? With the investment rights. That means they're going to be able to get regional company HQ so they can build in other areas, not just wherever they are right now. Investment rights, in my opinion, should be the first charter that you give a company. I kind of didn't have enough charters and I was kind of desperate to give them the ability to build steel mills and all that schnaps, right? But yeah, we're researching right now civilizing mission, followed by investment banks, which is going to increase the amount of company charters. And reality is that we probably also want to switch to the company's principle, because that's going to give another one free company charter and an extra company, as well as the company throughput bonus. So overall, sure, the construction principle that we have right now is pretty good too. I mean, at level 3 is really decent, but the company one, in my opinion, is more powerful. So yeah, I'm just restructuring a lot my power block principles because I did make some mistakes in the past and I'm realizing it right now. And our subjects are also significantly more loyal again. We can lower the autonomy of Marina without paying any autonomy for it. Did I just say autonomy instead of infamy? How do you mix up autonomy with infamy? Like, actually, check what's going on here. We're doing fairly okay. I've queued up 19 mines more. I'm gonna queue up another 10, and after that we're gonna do some more construction sectors. We definitely can afford a few more. Can say do 5 in the capital, 5 queued up Indigar, 5 Ankara, and 5 Konya. That should be fine for now. Max out the 4 main states that I'm currently trying to make the strongest states within the empire. I wish I turned Chile into a protectorate earlier, because right now it's a little bit more difficult. It's a bit bigger nation, let's say. It's significantly more infamy compared to the 12 or whatever it was at the start of the campaign. Now it's like 20 infamy, so not sure if it's worth it anymore. I might just focus more in South America, like the smaller nations, Ecuador, South Peru, maybe leave Chile for later, because of course they took most of Patagonia, as they do in every single freaking patch. It's crazy, brother. We're also spamming a buttload of fishing wharfs, and it's still not enough. I mean, brother, we're not even using fish for the production methods of food industries, and we're still lacking fish. What is up is this enigma of fish domination within the Ottoman market? Who's eating all the fish? Hey, Paraguay, back down. Hell yeah, no need to fight that then. Go ahead and improve relations with them. Bro, this is the worst case scenario. The British are trying to make a puppet out of Constantine. I don't want the British to win, but at the same time, I could probably join the side of the British and destroy the Austrians in the process. I'm talking about liberating Hungary out of Austria, which would literally collapse them economically. Holy shit, it would literally collapse them. Or liberate something small like Croatia, which we can turn into our subject afterwards. Both options work. I'm gonna go for Hungary just because I'm a complete piece of schnitzel. There we go, boys. And now we can start moving by the border with the Austrians. We got work to do, everybody. We have to take down the Austrian Emperor. Not even gonna... Oh, come on, Constantine. Brother, this is the second freaking time, man. Why? Why you do this to me, you scumbags? That would have been an easy ass freaking war. Oh my god, and now they're a protector. This sucks. This actually sucks. I wanted to make Constantine my protectorate, Britain. You warmongers. Should have learned my lesson from trying to do it against the Russians. Honestly, I'm just at this point, I might as well just cancel my alliance with the British and make them my enemy because they are the real enemy of this campaign. Holy mother of God. 1891 is when we banned slavery, bro. That is just crazy stuff. All right, let's go for cultural exclusion. Like I was saying earlier, this is going to be a big game changer, so we need to rush for this. Yay, one more company for the company machine. Let's go for whatever gives us another prestige good, obviously, such as the textile combine of the Ottoman Empire, or even better, the plantation consortium of Yemen, which gives us the reserve coffee. Wait a second, I think I know that brand. Reserve, isn't that an actual coffee brand? Am I going nuts here? That also gives colony growth speed. That's actually pretty good for us now. I'm a little bit torn between these two because I feel like the textile combine is going to make us more money, but I kind of want the colony growth speed, so I'm going to go for that. And let's make sure that we give them investment rights, obviously. Cancel the colonization rights these guys have. I feel like this is just a waste of company charters. Why did I even give that out, actually, now that I think about it? Let's wait for this to finish. Okay, they backed down. Not surprised by that. They didn't get support from anyone else. And now let's cancel the one in Namaqualand. Boom. That does destroy the colony in Namaqualand, in case you're wondering, so we're gonna have to reestablish it, and we're gonna have to get the progress again on that colony, which kind of sucks. I feel like after playing this patch a little bit more, I just realized that colonization rights is bait. It's literal bait. You do not want to go for colonization rights ever. You just want to give investment rights, trade rights, and then whatever the extra industry they can build, and then last, monopolies. Monopolies actually is really powerful, but you cannot give it if you have laissez-faire, and you also got to be careful because in most cases you're going to be running out of charters, and you want to give the vital investment rights and trade right charters to all the companies, right? I mean, look at that. Our companies are gone up to 104,000. They definitely have increased in income significantly compared to what it was like earlier. We even managed to overtake Friedrich Krupp, which is pretty significant too. We have a lot of extra bureaucracy lying around now, so let's make sure we upgrade all of our institutions that we have to maximum. Now I'm starting to think I might have just a few more consumption taxes than I probably should have. Maybe it's time I start canceling some of these. Yeah, let's I mean, I'll keep the one on tobacco because technically, you know what, they should not be smoking. Okay, smoking is not good for you. I'm keeping tobacco tax because I love you. That's why, population of Turkey. That's why I want you to be healthy. Ooh, this guy has to go. Sorry, Murat, no space for you, buddy boy. And we also established ourselves properly in Congo now. Kind of thinking that I should probably start establishing colonies around the Niger and South Africa. We don't have too many provinces though. Maybe I can just clean up this area, what's left, wipe out Ashanti, Borgu, Oyo, and so on, and then after I can establish the colony, though it would be a bit of a bigger colony and more effective as consequence too, right? Hey, cultural exclusion. That is freaking huge, boys. Now, do we go for religious schools or do we try somehow to pass any of these laws here? We would have to change a little bit our government, get the ulema out of it, and maybe bring in the trade unions. I'm sure the trade unions would love to. No, apparently the trade unions would not. Who is on board with this, actually? It is the intelligentsia and surprisingly the armed forces. Okay, well, I don't think I can get either one of those in here, can I? No, I can actually. No, I can. The intelligentsia. There you go. Yeah, I'll attempt total separation. It's probably gonna fail, but let's try at least. Third mandate, let's go, baby. So that means we got the -5 infamy per level of colonial affairs institution. So we have -20 infamy against unrecognized powers now. So that means we're basically gonna expand for little to no infamy. I thought that it's a good idea to start expanding manually into the Afghani areas. I'm not gonna let Kabul do it anymore, because look at this. The British, not only have they already taken Punjab and the Punjab hills, but they're already attacking what's left of Qasar Raj. So that's pretty freaking bad, boys. That means they're gonna be at the border with whatever's independent in this area right now. Okay, time to make the transition to steel frame production methods for the construction sectors. So as always, slowly do this, not get everything on steel frame, because otherwise we'd have two massive shortages of steel. We already have massive shortages of engines and, you guessed it, fish alongside glass. But you do have quite a bit of steel that's being produced in Wallachia and Moldova. Yeah, so we just need to build up some more glassworks and get some more steel factories. We can get some more steel as well in Bulgaria. They're pretty proficient at making steel mills, right? They're very good steel manufacturers. Oh, Sokoto actually wants to fight for this. Okay, all right. Sokoto be out here like, oh yeah, we're big boys. We're gonna fight this, guys. Good luck with that, buddy boy. Also want to survey the Panama Canal and the Suez Isthmus. Panama apparently is already taken, so I guess we can do Suez. Damn, that kind of sucks. I was hoping to get both of them. Oh, what? No freaking way. The Circassians are getting backed by the British. Oh, this is just beautiful. This is actually just beautiful. We're gonna get the British fighting the Russians. This is a really good opportunity for me to attack the Russians too. In that case, we could maybe liberate some parts in the southern bits of Russia, weakening them in the process massively. I think I just heard my wife in the other room making fun of me. We can give me Sydney. I'll be honest, guys, I love the fact that we get so freaking much population as the Ottomans, because there's so many people from the rest of the Muslim world that migrate in here. It is ridiculous. Like, compared to any playthrough I've had in the past few weeks, the Ottomans excel at easily getting migrants from the Muslim world, right? The Italians also did pretty good, but Ottomans are even above the Italians in my opinion. Oh, Britain just got a big blow, didn't it? Oh, this is crazy. I got a truce with the British though until 95, so I cannot December 95. Okay, so I cannot join. Oh, I would have loved to help bring about the downfall of the British Empire. Damn. First good news we've had in a while here. So this is going to be World War I based off of the English Civil War. That speaks massively of how much the world hates the British Empire right now. Okay, we might have a chance at freedom of consciousness. We failed total separation. We didn't even pass to the review phase, but we did manage to pass the review with freedom of conscience, so I'm a little bit hopeful here. And we also just managed to survey the Suez Isthmus. Let's survey the skyscraper site too and acquire land in Sinai. Not like they have much of a choice here. They are our little Schnitzeldorfs. They do what we tell them to do. So now let's build up the Suez Canal. This is going to be huge for us. Oh, this is beautiful. So we're attacking Isaac and Ethiopia joined their side. So that means I can reduce the autonomy of Ethiopia for just 2.7 infamy. That is delicious. Wait, what? We into implementation phase with freedom of conscience? Okay, we might actually have public schools at the end of the 1800s, when in normal games you're supposed to get public schools like by 1850, 1860 at the latest. No, Ludi has to fail this apparently. Come on, game! Brother, why you do this to me? Why is it always when I'm trying to have a little bit of fun, you just ruin the fun completely, don't you? And I also need to build a buttload of opium plantations. So what's happened in the meanwhile is we managed to get a few other nations addicted to opium, and opium has gone up in price insanely. So that means the more opium we have in our market, the more we're going to be able to export to the Chinese, to the British, and the more money we're going to make out of it as consequence. So Persia is going to be alongside Afghanistan my two little opium plantations. Problem we have now is that because we are over 50 infamy, all of our subjects are getting their liberty desire increased at an alarming pace. So the best option for me to stop them from trying to become independent is to just build as many things within their areas as possible. That way they become significantly more dependent on us and they just don't even have a choice of wanting to be free. So in the case of Moldova, for example, they got a few job seekers. they could become our little engine manufacturing plant. And what the shit is this? Why do they have regional headquarters of the Hudson Bay Company? Moldova, what have you been doing? Have you been giving rights to the British to build in your country? This is why you're so backwards, man. Holy shit. This is literally modern day Moldova LARP right here. Maybe it is time that I stop expanding and in exchange I just start integrating my subjects, because they do seem to have made a lot of bad choices. What the schnitzel? French commune? Since when? Oh my god, I didn't even realize this happened, brother. What the hell is this? They got 10.4 standard of living, by the way. That is ridiculous. Well, we could technically be on the good terms with them if we really wanted to, I guess. Maybe if we offer military access, trade privileges, and so on, could work. It's official, boys. We have actually overtaken the British, and we've also calmed down the Ethiopians. Hopefully they're not going to be rebelling anymore. Now the problem is, and I hate to say this, but my game keeps crashing. Like, my game keeps crashing a lot. It keeps crashing, and it sucks because we're really at the most interesting part of the campaign. We're doing really good right now, and I've just started my snowball, but I have to keep saving every 5 seconds, because if I don't save, I'm gonna lose a lot of progress because the game keeps crashing. I don't know if it's because between the period when I started this campaign and now, there's been like 5 freaking patches for the game, so maybe that screwed up some stuff. I really don't know, but I am gonna finish it off here because I genuinely cannot handle having to reload the game so many times again and again. Hope you guys enjoyed this run. I had a lot of fun. I have to say that the Ottomans are a lot better than I expected them to be in this patch, and I will probably redo this run just when the patch itself is a little bit more stable. So probably when patch 1.99 comes out, or whenever the case, maybe even earlier if it becomes stable a little bit earlier. Hope you guys had fun watching this. I had a lot of fun recording it. Love you, and I'll see you in the next one.